Hi everyone, my name is Audrey and welcome to my channel. Today I'm giving you my April TBR.
Another party, another Friday night, another talk that might turn into a fight. Too many faces you only see online, too many cases of faking by design. Wake up every morning just to go right back to sleep. Text everyone you already know you'll never meet. Dance alone around your room and get down to the beat. Wanna change the world, 21 and feeling old. Being young and engaged in the modern maybe. But honesty is scary, so you go and hit delete. Wake up every morning just to go right back to sleep. Text everyone you already know you'll never meet. Dance alone around your room and get down to the beat. Wanna change the world, 20, a wanting, a feeling old. Being young and engaged in the modern age. Only seen on the screen, internet's our stage. Reaching high, wondering why no one knows the pain. Got the world at our feet, but we're all just kids. Is it you that I'm connecting or reality projecting? Just a second, is my phone? Can we finish later on? Is it you that I'm connecting or reality projecting? Just a second, is my phone? Can we finish later on? Being young and engaged in the modern age. Only seen on the screen, internet's our stage. Reaching high, wondering why no one knows the pain. Got the world at our feet, but we're all just kids. Yeah, we're all just kids. Yeah, we're all just kids. Yeah, we're all just reality projecting. Just a second, can we finish? All just kids. Being young and engaged in the modern age. Only seen on the screen, internet's our stage.
I remember when my mother would kiss me goodnight and tuck me in, and we would pray together. I recall a day a stranger had told me to not let my smile fade when the world was prettier. Oh, my innocence is gone, and I feel the cold front on its way now. I remember when the devil on my shoulder told me there'd be a day where I might suffocate. Running fast, pressure's on, and I can barely breathe. I said goodbye to the days of playing hide and seek. Running fast, pressure's on, I need some air to breathe. Can't go back to the days of playing hide and seek. Yeah. I don't know when an enemy came by and planted an evil seed. Oh, if only I could find a way to rid the fear that's grown inside of me and taken over me. Oh, my innocence is gone, but my flame is going strong. Won't let it suffocate. Running fast, pressure's on, and I can barely breathe. I said goodbye to the days of playing hide and seek. Running fast, pressure's on, I need some air to breathe. Can't go back to.
So for April, I am going to be doing 2 readathons. The first one is the Buzzwordathon, as I do every month. And the second one is the Magical Readathon. So I won't be doing any Choose Your Own Adventure readathon prompt, because it's the Magical Readathon. It's part of the same world concept thing. I'm really excited. This is the first time I'm actually participating, and since the beginning of the year, I did not create my own character. I didn't take care of that. So yeah, I did it now because of the Magical Readathon. So I'm going to start off with my Magical Readathon TBR, and because I have a lot of titles, and then move on to the rest of the books that I want to read this month. I do have some books that I want to prioritize over others. I am very confident and that I will be able to read a good bunch of these many of these books. I'm still giving myself a goal to read 6 books because I don't think that ever happened since the beginning of me getting back into reading. I don't think I ever read 6 books in a month. So, like, I'm keeping that goal until I actually manage to achieve that. So, yeah, I did manage 5 books in February and 4 in March. I am on track for my Goodreads challenge. I'm so happy that I'm still on track. It's a bit of a miracle. No, not that much, but I'm really, really happy with that. So I'm going to try and read more books because I'm on the right amount I should have read at this time of the year. And I kind of want to have a little bit more books and read more than 1 book a week. So we'll see. Anyways, here we go. I am going to talk to you about my character because, and if you want to skip it, you can skip, no problem. So my character's name is Daudey. By the way, I'm going to take this opportunity to say my actual channel's name because I know a lot of people, they see me in the chat and in sprints and all of that, and don't know how to pronounce my channel name. My name is Audrey, but the channel name is Daudey Artisterie, which is Daudey is the nickname my sister gave me because she wasn't able to pronounce my name when she was a kid. She's 2.5 years younger than me, and it kind of stuck, and it still sticks to this day. So I chose it as a name for my business, and I decided to keep my business name for every part of, like, for everything that I do. So that's why. I hope that makes sense. So it's pronounced Daudey because in French, Audrey is pronounced Audrey. So yeah, that's the explanation. I didn't want to search for a name, so I just picked Daudey. I chose to go with the Illyrian heritage. I went with their abilities, where I thought I would like to go. And I am part of the Mind Walker Guild. And I chose the Illusionist Rogue as a calling. So for the Illusionist Rogue, you have 3 prompts to fulfill. The first one is Art of Illusion, and it is to match clothes with the cover of your book. So that could be like basically any book of my TBR that I read. I am probably going to be choosing like what I'm wearing right now because it's green. I do have a lot of green covers, so that might be where it's gonna head, but we'll see. The second prompt is psionics and divination, and it is to have clouds on the book cover or in the title of the book. So I thought I didn't have anything for that prompt. I was a little bit scared, but then when I was browsing my TBR card and my reader, I found out I had way more than I thought. So here are the titles that I am probably going to pick up for this prompt. Hidden Figures, which is a nonfiction about the Black women who worked for NASA in the 60s. There is a movie on this book-ish. I think it's not exactly as the book because the movie is fiction, but still. And I really loved the movie, and I cannot wait to read about it in a book. Next is the novella that follows Shatter Me, which is Destroy Me. I do want to finish all 5 of these books. I do have the 5 first books as a bundle on my reader, and I do want to finish those books. So far I only read the first book, and the second one is actually the novella, so that means it's very short and I could go through a book really quickly. So that's a good option for me for this month. The next book is The Guest List by Lucy Foley, and this one I don't remember what it's about. I know it's a thriller, kind of like One by One by Ruth Rare. I think so. Like, don't take my word for it, but yeah, I heard a lot about it. I received this book on Christmas, so might as well pick it up. There's rain and there's clouds here, so this could fit. But I could also put One by One by Ruth Ware for this prompt, and I actually started this book. So if I am going to pick up the guest list, I am going to be reading some more books in between both of those books because I don't want to be confused between the two. I hope that makes sense. I'm not scared of mixing them up. I'm more scared of comparing them together, and I feel like it will affect how I appreciate both of these books separately, if that makes sense. So I did start One by One. I read the 2 first chapters, I think. So this follows a group of employees who work for this app company, and people get killed. And there's a lot of snow. It's a cabin on in the Alps and in the French Alps, and there's a huge avalanche, and people are murdered. I've heard great things and some less great things, but I'm really excited to pick this up and finally read it and try to understand what the hype is all about. And for the third prompt for the magical readathon, it is shape-shifting, and it is to have a wolf on the cover or in the title of a book. And for that one, I have 2 books. The first one is Wolf by Wolf by Ryan Groden. It's a historical fiction. If Hitler actually won the war, what would the world be like? So, like this. And Hitler is a big fan of motorcycle races, and there's this huge race in which the winner will get to meet Hitler, and this woman actually has the ability to shapeshift, and she shapeshifts into the woman who won in the past, and she is going to try to win her way through the tournament to kill Hitler. There's also a sequel. It's a duology, if I'm not mistaken, and I think there's also a novella. So it's not exactly a trilogy. I don't know how to explain this, but anyways, it's set in the year 1956. I heard amazing things about this book. I love the premise. It sounds really cool and different and original, so can't wait to pick this one up. The next book is Elatsaway by Darcy Little Badger. So this is an alternative futurist kind of setting, and it follows Elatsaway, who is from an indigenous family, and she has the ability to raise ghosts. And I believe her cousin, someone from her family, has been murdered. So sounds really interesting. I heard amazing things about this book, and there's very pretty wolves on the cover, so that works. I really hope I can get to this book because I put this on my TBR a couple of times in 2022 and didn't manage to pick it up, so hopefully this time will be the time. So that's it for the magical readathon. We'll see how many books. I prefer having like an open TBR, if that makes sense. So when it comes to time for me to pick up a new book, I can just choose whatever I'm in the mood to choose. For now, I chose to pick up One by One because that one is on my reader, and I wanted to have at least one book that I am currently reading that was on my reader. So that's the one I picked. So we'll see what other books I do pick. For the matching colors, I might be picking up The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Susan Collins. This is the prequel to the Hunger Games trilogy. I reread recently the Hunger Games trilogy in order to be able to read this book, so I do want to get it read, and I'm probably going to make it fit with my actual dress right now. I'm gonna find a yellow belt or accessory or something. That's probably going to be what I'll do. But who knows? I might change my mind. I might find something else throughout my TBR. We'll see. So this, if you don't know what it is about, this follows Snow growing up and living in this dystopian world where children are raped from poor districts and are oppressed, and they go into the Hunger Games to fight to the death for entertainment for other people, so for the rich. And it follows Snow, the evil from President Snow, which is the evil character from the Hunger Games trilogy, and how he came to be that powerful. I've heard really mixed things about this. I don't have high expectations, to be honest, but I do want to finally get to it nonetheless. So for the rest of my TBR, I just want to finish books. That's my main goal. I want to prioritize books that I've started for a long time. There are a couple, and just finish books, finish duologies, finish series, whatever, and have a move on, because that's where I'm at. I need the satisfaction of finishing books. That's it. Because I do have a couple of those books that I've been putting on TBRs and not picking them up because I chose other things instead. So this month, that's when it's happening, and I'm going to be reading them. Hopefully most of them. So yeah. The first one is The Kingdom of Copper by S.A. Chakraborty. This is the second book of the Devyabad trilogy, and it follows this con artist in Cairo, and she accidentally summons a djinn, and she ends up on a quest to find this magical city, and there's a lot of adventures in this, a lot of amazing characters. I devoured the first book, and I don't know why I waited to actually pick up the second book. And when I finally picked it up, I never finished it. So I'm not even halfway through, maybe a third through. Can't wait to finish it and get to the third book. And those are big books. They're like 600 pages each, at least. But like the writing flows so well that I just devour page after page after page. I didn't put it down because I didn't want to read it. I put it down because I had other things that I needed to read at that time to complete prompts and whatnot. But I'm making it a priority this month. Next, I have A Brief History of 7 Killings by Marlon James. This is a tough one. I chose this book for Blackathon in February, and it was for the Jamaican prompt, reading a book that was set on an island or in Jamaica. And this is a Jamaican author, and it is set in Jamaica in the 70s, and it follows a lot of POVs. It follows people who are in the ghetto in Jamaica, and they end up trying to assassinate Bob Marley, which, like, I didn't need you to sell me more on this book than just that. But when I actually picked it up, because this is a huge one, it's almost 700 pages. And when I first picked it up, I did not know Marlon James' writing. I've been told it was like something big to read, but I didn't understand what that meant. But when I first started reading it, I understood. The language is very raw. It's very violent, very, very, very violent. It's a tough read. I cannot skim through it. I don't want to skim through it, and I do want to take my time with it. So I'm probably not going to finish it, but I am making it a priority for me to make some progress in it, because it's so tough to read because of the violence, because it's also written in a Jamaican vernacular, which I'm not familiar with. So it does take me a little bit more time to truly understand it. I don't want to skim through it. I think this book deserves to be well read. So I am taking my time with it, but I do want to make some more progress. Right now, I'm on page 80. I am enjoying it so far from what I've read. But yeah, I do want to make some progress in it, which I haven't done in March. The next one is a Celeste Ng book, which I'm not going to pull out because it's for my secret TBR. I am going to try to focus on that TBR. I have 2 books left for that video, so hopefully I can read one of those this month, try to sort out and find my clips from the other books I read for this video, and finish the next book probably in May. that's my goal. We'll see how much I manage. It is on the shorter side of books, so hopefully I can get that one in. The next one on my list is A Song of Wraiths and Ruin. This is a reread, but I do want to reread it because I want to read A Psalm of Storms and Silence, which is the second and last book of the duology. This one I haven't read yet. This one I have, but it's been a long time. I really enjoyed it. I think I gave it a 4.25 stars on Goodreads the first time I read it. I could use this as well as matching covers because it is also green, but our character is so gorgeous. I wouldn't do her justice, so I think I'm gonna stick with the Hunger Games one. But yeah, this follows two POVs, one from this big city, and she's the daughter of the queen of the city, and her mom dies and she's not ready to rule. So she tries to find a ritual to resuscitate her mother. And in order to do that, she needs to kill a king. And this is set during a big festival, a very important one. And she decides that and during this festival, there is a tournament, and she decides that the winner of the tournament is going to wed her and therefore be a king, and she's going to kill him. And we follow also Malik, that is fleeing to this country to find work and bring money back home. And he's with two of his sisters, and the younger one gets kidnapped by this creature. I think it is I don't remember the creature. And in order to get her back, he needs to win the tournament and kill the princess. So interesting premise here. I really loved it. It was fun. I can't wait to finish this book, duology story. I can't wait to see where it's gonna go. I'm very curious. But yeah. So these two. And the last book on my TBR is The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. This is going to be my book for the Buzzwordathon, because I almost forgot the Buzzwordathon. For March, the prompt is to read a book with an emotion in the title. So Angry Planet, emotion, angry, yay. I have been trying to read this one for a long time. I started it in 2022. I don't even remember when. And I do have a space phobia, so I kind of have to be in the mood to pick this up. It follows this eclectic crew who is hired to make a passageway between two planets, if I'm not mistaken. And there's this new crew member that just arrives in time for the mission and all of that. And things are supposed to not turn out the way they think it's going to. So I'm really curious to see how it's going to go. I only read the first 50 pages, and honestly, I think I'm going to restart the whole book just to be on the safe side. I don't want to be frustrated by this book, and it's only 50 pages, so it doesn't bother me. But yeah, I am going to reread it, and I can't wait to see if I'm going to want to continue the series, because there are other books in the series. And yeah. Hey everyone, editing me here. I am jumping in just to add one more book to my TBR, because I filmed this on Saturday during a live sprint, and Paula from Family and Books reminded me that her book club's pick for April was the newest book by Shannon Chakraborty, and I didn't realize that. I've had that book on my radar for since it was announced. I knew I had to get that book, and yeah, I didn't realize she was picking it for April. So I'm gonna add this book to my April TBR. I know it's a lot, but I do want to be a part of the discussion. I do want to read it. I rarely buy new releases, but this one is totally worth it. I do trust the author fully. I do not regret it. So yeah, I'm gonna add this one to the TBR, and that's it. That's all. So if you don't know what this one is about, it follows Amina El Serafi, and she is a pirate. She had a long career as a pirate, and she wants to settle down and just retire, if you can retire from being a pirate. And she gets hired to find a kidnapped daughter for a large amount of money, which she can't refuse. So she goes on one last adventure that turns out is probably going to be more than what she bargains for. Really excited. I haven't read any pirate book so far, so I'm really excited to get into a pirate book. On that note, back to the original footage. So that's it. That's all the books I have on my TBR. That's a lot, okay? I have 13 books on my TBR. Like, there's no way I can manage that. It's twice my usual goal of 6 books. So yeah, we'll see how many books I actually manage. If I want to read every book that's in here, I would need to read 196 pages per day. Will I manage that? No. But if I read most of them, I'll be really happy, I think. We'll see how much I manage to do. Yeah. Have you read any of these books? I would love to know your opinion on them. Are you participating in any readathons this month? I would love to know about it. If you're participating in the magical readathon, you can leave your character infos and prompts in the comment sections so I can check that out. I'm very curious to see what you all have for prompts. Thank you so much for watching. As always, like, comment, subscribe if you wish. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video, and I will see you soon in the next one.